Welcome to a new episode of the podcast. Vox Agent is made by AI for business executives that work with AI. Today, we're diving into how artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming global education. You've heard the buzz, but what does it really mean for how we learn and teach?
Well, our mission today is to help you cut through some of that noise, understand the core concepts, and really grasp the incredible shifts happening in classrooms everywhere, really, from elementary schools right up to universities.
Okay.
We want to uncover the surprising capabilities, the actual real-world applications, and also touch on the vital discussions we need to have about this pretty powerful new technology.
And we've got a good stack of sources here, research papers, industry reports, some case studies of really cutting-edge platforms, enough to give you a proper, deep understanding.
Sounds good.
So let's start with the basics, the foundation. When we talk AI in education, there seem to be two key ideas floating around: generative AI and agentic AI.
Right. And while generative AI gets a lot of the headlines, ChatGPT and all that, agentic AI is, well, arguably the next big leap.
Okay, so break that down. Generative AI.
Generative AI basically refers to systems that create original content. They respond to prompts, making things like text, images, even code.
Right.
So think GPT-4 generating a practice quiz or maybe drafting a lesson plan for a teacher. It produces stuff, but it doesn't necessarily act beyond that creation step.
Got it, like a super smart content machine.
Yeah.
But then agentic AI, that takes it further.
Exactly. It takes it a significant step further. Agentic AI is about AI agents that have autonomy.
Autonomy.
Meaning they can make decisions and actually act to achieve goals, often with, minimal human oversight. It sort of builds on generative AI by adding layers of reasoning, adaptability, and the ability to use tools. So here's where it gets really interesting. Generative AI might write you that practice quiz, but an agentic AI might decide you're ready for the quiz, generate it, give it to you, and then this is the key part: adjust the next lesson based on how you did.
Oh, I see.
All on its own. It's about that dynamic, goal-oriented behavior.
So it's not just making content. The AI is actually deciding the learning path itself. That's a huge shift.
It is.
It sort of reminds me of those older intelligent tutoring systems. But, I mean, these modern AI models, they're powered by deep learning, like transformers, right? They've processed just unbelievable amounts of data.
Billions of data points, yeah. Text, images, more than any human could ever consume. It gives them this unprecedented power and flexibility.
So they can be tutors, TAs, maybe even help design curriculum.
Absolutely. It's really ushering in a new era of human-AI collaboration in education. It's quite profound.
Okay, that's a powerful vision. But what's actually under the hood? What makes these tools tick? Let's look at the core capabilities.
Right. Well, at the heart of many of these tools is powerful natural language interaction.
Okay, like talking to it.
Exactly. Thanks to large language models, things like GPT-4, Google's Gemini, these AI tutors can have pretty fluid conversational dialogues.
So they can answer questions, give hints.
Or even act as a discussion partner. That conversational piece is what makes virtual tutors feel, well, almost human sometimes.
So conversation is the base. What's the next layer? The actual content and making it personal. That's content generation and personalization, I guess.
Precisely. Generative AI can produce all sorts of content on demand: explanations, examples, practice problems, lesson plans. It's a game changer.
But the personalization is the magic.
That's where it really shines.
Yeah.
The AI analyzes your performance, your learning gaps, and then it tailors the content. So imagine an AI tutor noticing you're struggling with factoring in algebra.
Yeah.
And it proactively generates extra practice problems just for that specific subskill. Some platforms, like Squirrel AI, they even map thousands of tiny knowledge points to track exactly where you are.
Wow, that granular.
Very enabling really targeted help.
And the agentic part we talked about.
Yeah.
The autonomous decision-making. How does it decide what to do next without someone telling it?
Good question. They use pretty sophisticated planning algorithms, often trained through something called reinforcement learning.
That is like...
Basically, the AI learns by trial and error. It refines its decisions over time, kind of like a chess computer gets better with every game. It learns what teaching strategies work best in different situations.
So it could decide to switch things up.
Yeah, an agentic platform might autonomously decide, okay, let's switch from practice problems to a quick review session if it detects you're getting tired or confused. Or, maybe even more powerfully, an AI could automatically grade assignments for a whole class spot a common weakness, and then recommend a specific reteaching plan to the teacher.
All initiated by the AI itself.
Exactly.
And it's not just text anymore, right? There's multimodal processing.
Increasingly, yes. AI tools can now look at images like your handwritten math work or a diagram you drew. Or listen to audio like a student reading aloud. So an AI reading tutor could actually listen, correct pronunciation, or maybe evaluate a photo of a science project and give tips.
Like Gemini. That's multimodal.
Right. Models like Gemini combine text, images, audio, opens up possibilities in visual arts, language learning, lots of areas.
Okay, but for this to really work in schools, these AIs can't just be standalone things. They need to plug into what schools already use. Integration with tools and platforms.
Absolutely critical. Often the AI is embedded directly into the learning management system, the LMS, or maybe productivity software or custom apps.
And they talk to each other.
Through APIs, yeah. An AI agent might fetch data from the student records or pull up a relevant Khan Academy video, maybe schedule a reminder in your calendar. It extends its reach.
So let me see if I've got this right. The basic architecture is like you have a powerful general AI brain, like an LLM. Then you layer on top some specific knowledge about how students learn in a particular subject. And then there's a decision engine guiding the whole process.
You got it.
And that creates this super personalized learning, but at scale, which is something human teachers, with 30 kids in a class, just can't physically do for every single student.
That's the promise. Combining that broad intelligence with really deep, personalized understanding and action.
Okay, theory sounds amazing. But let's get concrete. Where are we actually seeing this stuff? What's the state of the art right now?
Well, you have to start with OpenAI and GPT-4. They were the real catalyst for mainstream awareness.
ChatGPT, yeah. Exploded.
Totally. 100 million users incredibly fast. And adoption is high. Maybe half of university students are using tools like ChatGPT for coursework already.
For what kind of things?
Explaining physics concepts, debugging code, helping write essays. It's very versatile. But, and this is important, you need caution.
How so?
GPT-4 can still hallucinate. It can make stuff up, give incorrect answers, especially in things like math. So you have to monitor it, especially for high-stakes learning.
Right. And Google's obviously a huge player, too.
For sure. Beyond their consumer tools like Dart, they're integrating AI deeply into Google Classroom. They have these practice sets.
Practice sets?
Yeah. AI creates interactive exercises, gives hints, helps with grading. It can turn a basic Google form into something much more personalized, and it's in like 50 languages now.
Wow.
And what's really fascinating is this pilot Google's doing with the University of Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
They've deployed a Gemini-powered virtual teaching assistant for MBA students. It gives 247 support, but it's designed not to just give answers. It pushes them to think critically.
Interesting. Early results.
Apparently, higher student engagement, and it gives professors really useful insights into where students are struggling.
And then there's Khan Academy. They were early movers with Khanmigo.
Definitely pioneers. Khanmigo, built on GPT-4 with OpenAI, acts as both a tutor for students and a TA for teachers.
What makes it different?
I think its key differentiator is how carefully it's designed around good teaching practices. It acts like a virtual Socrates. It doesn't just give you the answer. It asks probing questions like, well, what do you think would happen if you tried this? It encourages that productive struggle.
Which is important for learning.
Crucial. So students use it for math help, co-creating stories, role-playing historical figures, prepping for tests like the SAT.
And teachers.
They use it to generate lesson ideas, icebreakers, get quick summaries of how students are doing. And a big thing for Khan Academy is equity.
How so?
They offer Khanmigo for a really nominal fee, like $4 a month, I think, trying to make powerful AI tutoring accessible, not just for the wealthy.
That's great. Now, speaking of scale, Squirrel AI learning in China sounds like a huge operation.
It's an incredible case study. They really proved AI-driven adaptive learning can work at massive scale. By 2019, they had like 2,000 learning centers in 200 cities, serving over 1 million students. Later, they reached tens of thousands of public schools. They blend AI with human mentors.
And the results?
Pretty impressive. Reports show their personalized learning paths significantly boosted student performance. Accuracy on practice math questions reportedly jumped from around 78% up to 93%.
That's a big jump.
Huge. It shows the potential when AI is really fine-tuned for learning outcomes. Became a unicorn, spurred lots of other AI EdTech.
So the picture's broad. Quizlet has QChat. Duolingo uses AI for role play. Microsoft's putting Copilot in Teams. It's happening fast.
It really is. Rapid innovation everywhere.
Okay, so let's pivot to the payoff. We've seen the tech, the players. What are the actual tangible benefits of bringing AI into education?
I think the benefits are really substantial, and they tackle some long-standing problems. First, and maybe the biggest, personalization of learning at scale.
We touched on this.
Right, like Squirrel AI boosting accuracy from 78% to 93%. Or think about Ivy Tech Community College. They used AI alerts to identify thousands of at-risk students and actually prevented about 3,000 of them from failing.
That's huge impact on retention and success.
Absolutely. Unlocking potential that might otherwise be lost.
Okay, what else?
Number 2, continuous immediate support and tutoring.
The 200 force of access.
Exactly. No more waiting for office hours, especially vital for homework help. You saw that stat, maybe 54% of kids were using generative AI for schoolwork by 2024.
It reduces frustration.
Yes, and fosters persistence. It enables what experts call high-dosage tutoring, lots of focused help without the traditionally high cost.
Makes sense. And it's not just students who benefit, right? Efficiency and time savings for teachers.
Oh, a massive win for teachers. Automating routine tasks, huge. That grading tool, GradeScope AI-powered, reportedly cut grading time by 70%.
70%.
Imagine. And something like 60% of teachers are already using AI for things like lesson planning. It frees them up to focus on the human stuff, mentoring, discussions, individual support.
Which should also lead to enhanced engagement and interactive learning.
Definitely. Over half of K-12 teachers surveyed are using AI-powered educational games. And think about the possibilities. Students can interview an AI avatar of, say, Cleopatra or Gandhi.
Makes history come alive.
Right. And that instant feedback loop keeps students plugged in, active learners, not just passive listeners.
The data aspect is also powerful. Data-driven insights and early identification of needs.
Yes, AI is constantly collecting and analyzing tiny bits of data on student performance. It can spot patterns humans might miss.
Like what?
Like maybe an AI notices a student consistently makes errors on word problems involving fractions, but not on fraction calculations alone. That pinpoints a very specific misunderstanding.
Wow, okay.
And remember Ivy Tech. Their AI predicted final grades with about 80% accuracy. That allows for really early, targeted interventions.
Super useful. And what about students with different needs? Accessibility and inclusive learning.
AI can be a real game changer here. Text-to-speech for students with reading difficulties, real-time translation in multilingual classrooms, tools that simplify complex text.
And AI tutors don't get frustrated repeating things.
Exactly. That patience benefits students who need more reinforcement. Plus, thinking about equity, traditional one-on-one tutoring is expensive. AI tools like Conmigo at $4 a month really democratize access to that kind of support.
Good point. Lastly, what about the teacher's own growth? Value for teachers' professional growth.
By taking away some of the drudgery, AI lets teachers focus on higher value activities, designing creative lessons, mentoring students, collaborating with colleagues. That can boost job satisfaction.
And the AI itself can offer feedback.
Potentially, yes. It could highlight effective teaching strategies observed across many classrooms, or even act as a sort of reflective coach for teachers looking at their own practice.
Okay, so a lot of potential benefits. Now let's see how this plays out on the ground. How does AI use differ across, say, different age groups, starting with elementary schools?
In the early grades, it's often embedded quite seamlessly. Think adaptive math games like Dreambox the AI adjust the difficulty in real time to keep kids in that sweet spot of challenge.
Not too hard, not too easy.
Exactly. Or AI reading tutors like Google Read Along, using speech recognition to help with pronunciation. It's usually very guided, with strong teacher oversight.
Then moving up to middle schools, kids are getting more independent.
Right. So you see more tools for study support and skill practice, intelligent tutoring systems helping with trickier subjects like algebra. Students themselves might start using things like ChatGPT to get concepts explained.
Maybe more creative uses, too.
Yeah, AI for brainstorming story ideas, or maybe simulating historical debates. More student-driven exploration starts happening.
And by high school, it's probably even more integrated.
For sure. High schoolers are using AI quite extensively. AI-assisted writing tools for outlines or drafts, problem solvers like PhotoMath snapping pictures of math problems.
I've seen that one.
Coding tutors, exam prep tools like Conmigo for the SATs. Teachers also use AI more for differentiated instruction, assigning AI-curated readings at different complexity levels for the same topic.
And finally, universities. Feels like it's everywhere there.
It really is widespread. We mentioned maybe half of students using ChatGPT for coursework. It's a common research assistant. And you see those more advanced AI teaching assistants, like the Michigan MBA example.
Providing 24/7 support and giving data back to professors.
Exactly. Plus, AI is heavily used in automated grading platforms, plagiarism detection, and even remote proctoring tools.
So looking across all levels, AI is acting like a force multiplier.
Yeah.
Enhancing basic skills, helping teachers, enabling new ways to learn.
That's a good way to put it. It's augmenting teaching and learning at basically every stage.
Okay, we've painted a pretty compelling picture, really exciting potential. But we have to address the other side. Like any big technological shift, there are challenges, risks, the double-edged sword, right?
Absolutely. And it's crucial we talk about these. One major one is just technical limitations and accuracy.
The hallucination problem.
Right. Generative models can still confidently make things up or get facts wrong. Sal Khan pointed out even GPT-4 struggles with math sometimes. Ensuring accuracy is a constant battle, and the AI's reasoning isn't always transparent. We don't know why it gave that answer.
And if the tech isn't perfect, that raises issues of bias and fairness, doesn't it? If the training data has biases.
The AI can inherit and even amplify them. Absolutely. It might provide examples skewed towards one culture, or maybe not understand diverse ways of speaking or writing as well.
And if it's used for grading.
That's the big worry. Biased assessments could lead to unfair outcomes for certain student groups. It's a critical equity concern.
Then there's the one educators are really grappling with right now. Cheating and academic integrity.
Yeah, this is a big immediate challenge. Over half of university students admitting they've used AI to generate stuff for graded work. That fundamentally challenges how we assess learning.
And the AI detection tools.
They exist, like Turnitin's features, but they're not foolproof. It's an ongoing arms race. It forces educators to rethink assignments, maybe more in-class work, oral exams. Focus on the process, not just the product.
There's also a fear about losing the human element, right?
Yep.
Reduction of human interaction and over-reliance.
Very much so. Around 52% of teachers express that concern. If students just turn to AI for every answer, do they miss out on the productive struggle needed for deep learning?
Or collaboration, communication skills.
Exactly. Those vital soft skills developed through interaction. There's a balance to be struck.
And what about the teachers themselves? Are they ready for this? Teacher professional acceptance and training gaps.
That's a hurdle. Many teachers feel unprepared. One study showed only about 47% felt they'd had even a little AI training. There's anxiety and a real need for effective professional development, which isn't always available, especially in under-resourced areas.
Then the data issue, privacy and data security. These systems collect a lot of student information.
A huge amount, and that rightly raises concerns. Compliance with privacy laws like FERPA in the US or GDPR in Europe is non-negotiable. Schools and parents need assurances about how student data is used and protected. About 42% of teachers worry about this specifically.
And could AI actually widen existing gaps, equity and access issues?
It's a real risk. If the best AI tools are expensive or require high-end devices or fast internet, it could exacerbate the digital divide. We need to be really intentional about ensuring equitable access.
Understandably, some educators might worry about their jobs. Risk of job displacement.
Yeah, there's anxiety there. Around 30% of teachers in one survey worried AI could lead to job losses. While most experts think AI will augment rather than replace teachers, roles will change, and that requires support and retraining.
And finally, the whole landscape is moving so fast. Policy and regulatory uncertainty.
Exactly. There's a lack of clear rules and guidelines from governments and education bodies. Things are starting to emerge, like UNESCO guidelines, but schools need more concrete frameworks on acceptable use, data privacy standards, bias audits, etc. This uncertainty slows down thoughtful adoption.
Okay, that's a sobering list of challenges. So how do we navigate this? How do we mitigate the risks and, ideally, turn them into opportunities?
Well, it requires being proactive, take bias. We need diverse training data, rigorous testing for bias, and always keeping humans in the loop for important decisions.
And cheating.
Rethink assessment, as we said. Focus on critical thinking, creativity, application, and crucially, teach students how to use AI responsibly and ethically. AI literacy is key.
And for the teachers, the focus should be on teacher empowerment.
Absolutely. Frame AI as a co-pilot, an assistant, not a replacement. Invest seriously in professional development, not just technical training, but how to integrate AI into pedagogy ethical considerations. The message should be, it's not AI or teachers, it's teachers and AI working together.
And what about the companies developing these tools, the EdTech businesses? What are the strategic moves for them?
For businesses, well, embracing AI is becoming table stakes now. It's not optional.
So what should they focus on?
Leveraging unique data or deep expertise in a specific subject area verticalization. Don't just be a generic chatbot. Develop clear value propositions backed by evidence.
Like the Squirrel AI results.
Exactly. If your platform can show a 20% score increase or cut grading time by 70%, that's incredibly compelling. They also need to address the concerns head-on. Be transparent about data privacy, build in bias mitigation, offer features that support academic integrity.
Partnerships seem important too, like Khan Academy and OpenAI.
Very much so. Innovate on business models, maybe offer services around implementation and training, and keep investing in R&D because this field is evolving incredibly quickly. Even turn risks into opportunities like building better AI plagiarism detection tools.
Makes sense. So let's look ahead. Crystal ball time. What's the next, say, 3 to 5 years look like for AI in education?
I think we'll see the ubiquity of AI-enhanced learning tools. It seems plausible that nearly every major digital learning tool or platform will have some kind of AI built in, maybe getting closer to that idea of an AI tutor for every student.
And teachers will get more comfortable.
We should see much greater teacher-AI synergy. Teaching strategies will evolve to naturally incorporate AI assistance for planning, differentiation, and insights.
And the AI itself gets better.
Definitely. Advanced capabilities. More mature multimodal AI understanding images and speech fluently. Maybe integration with AR and VR for immersive learning. More sophisticated agentic AI that can initiate more complex tasks.
Leading to even better personalization.
Exactly. Truly data-driven personalization and early intervention at scale. Predictive models will get much better at identifying students who need help long before they fail a test.
What about the business side?
Expect continued market growth and consolidation. The market's projected to hit tens of billions. We'll likely see bigger players acquiring innovative startups.
And hopefully more rules.
Yes, I think we'll see more concrete policy and ethical frameworks emerge globally, providing clearer guidance for schools and developers. Things like standards, maybe even certifications for AI tools.
And jobs.
Evolving job roles for educators. New specializations like AI curriculum specialist or learning data analyst might become common, requiring ongoing professional development.
And hopefully reaching more places.
That's the hope. Global diffusion. AI tools spreading more widely, including in developing regions, potentially helping to bridge some educational equity gaps if deployed thoughtfully.
So wrapping this up, what did this all mean for you, the listener? As AI becomes as fundamental as textbooks, maybe even more so, how will you leverage it? Not just for efficiency, but maybe to unlock deeper understanding, spark greater curiosity.
And really cultivate those uniquely human skills, creativity, critical thinking, collaboration that AI can amplify, but never truly replace.
The conversation is definitely just beginning. It's a fascinating and crucial time for education.
Indeed. And engaging with these ideas is part of shaping that future.
Thank you for joining the podcast, and see you soon.